I saw 4 vehicles. People were brought out of the vehicles. And when I came out of the vehicle, my driver collapsed. I had to drive the vehicle going to Owerri and coming back to the
Out of fear?
Yeah, out of fear, he collapsed, he passed away. Well, as soon as he saw people with weapons, that was the end of the news. So when I came out of the vehicle, a man walked and looked at me. He said I should come over here. And I followed him. Another person came out. I said, are you sure down or last? I said, yes. I said, God will bless you. I said, why? He said, because we watch you on television. You have been defending our master Nnamdi Kanu. I said, I'll continue to defend him until I die. That is the summary of all the problems Igbos have in this country. If Nnamdi Kanu is released today, it is more important to me than any Igbo man or anybody being president of Nigeria. Because that boy represents the summary of the oppression, whatever, the shortcomings of our people. The boy who was born only in 1966 took that risk of life to talk for our people. You may not like his methodology, but what he does represents 99% of what Igbos are passing through in this country. But he's in jail. Not many people remember that Nnamdi is in jail. And I pray God that nothing happens to him. Because if anything happens to him, this life, I'll put it on the line again. I pray God that nothing happens to him. So what I'm saying that in that journey, they told me to go that nothing will happen to me. I told them that my driver is already passed away. And they gave me somebody. But I told them, there are a lot of killings going on. They said, oh God, we don't kill anybody. Hausa Fulanis who are killing people. And that is why we are making sure, searching every vehicle to make sure that they don't infiltrate our place, that we don't kill anybody.
Interesting.
And I believe that.
All right, this is for you out there that has been calling the Eastern Security Network, both the Eastern Security Network and the Biafran Liberation Army. You've been calling them all kind of names. You know, all kind of, you called them terrorists, you even called the IPOB, you know, a proscribed, entity, a group that is actually proscribed. Whatever you call them doesn't really matter. The fact still remains that they are doing the needful. And I've said this 10 times without number. The Eastern Security Network, nor the Biafran Liberation Army, as the case may be, have no business in fighting, Biafrans. They have no business with the insecurity that is happening in Biafran land. Forget about this whole thing or this false narrative that they continue to propagate on social media, and they are trying to put it on the common man in Biafran land, that the ESN and the Biafran Liberation Army, or as they call them, Simon Ekpa's men, are the ones who are causing the insecurity. That is a big fat lie. It's actually a big fat lie. And also, still on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what this man said. Now, this is a politician, yeah, and a very good one at that, who has understands rather the importance of Nnamdi Kanu. A lot of them might senior him. He might be young, but the reality is that he is fearless enough to stand strong and stand firm in his belief and in his quest to get freedom for Biafrans. You must understand that Nnamdi Kanu is not just, your normal push aside person that comes and go. He is a force. And that is why till today we are having a lot of unrest in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, because of Nnamdi Kanu. As I'm talking to you, a lot is being reviewed. Before we continue, Deji Adeyanju, the lawyer, the popular lawyer and activist also, who also stands for the truth, and also who has been a major problem in the neck of the zoo government because he speaks the truth at every given time. Deji Adeyanju has come out to say something, He reviewed that Jubilee of Sudan reviewed how Nnamdi Kanu annoyed Buhari. Adeyanju has come out to continue in his revelation. Since the demise of Buhari was announced, in as much as most of us have actually known from what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, not just what he said, the revelations he gave with evidences against the zoo long time ago, as of 2017, 2018. Most of us were already convinced that the man in Aso Rock as of then wasn't the person that we used to know, that is Muhammadu Buhari. But Deji said something very important. The activist Deji has disclosed how the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, who is detained currently, Nnamdi Kanu, annoyed the late president Muhammadu Buhari. Posting on X, the activist lawyer wrote, "Nothing annoyed the late Buhari more than the rumor started by Nnamdi Kanu that he was already dead. Whether he wants to believe that he is dead or not, the reality have come to play. It wasn't a rumor. And it is because of the fact that most of you, who continue to claim activists have failed to stand with the truth. Not just standing with the truth, also they have failed to expose the truth. And that is why the so-called government of the zoo continue to spit on their faces at any given time. That is why they continue to do certain things that they do. It's as simple as that. The zoo is burning, and so many Zoogerias continue to burn down with it, with the word, "We are united. Let us continue to be united. One Nigeria, one Nigeria." You keep on hearing one Nigeria. But yet, the Fulanis do not believe in one Nigeria. They believe that the Zoogeria is theirs. And they will continue to do everything possible to defend theirs. They will continue to do everything possible to stand on top. You keep on preaching one Nigeria, one Nigeria. But the fact still remains that you are not part of these people. They don't even see you as part, of their country. They see you as a visitor. That is why they continue to do everything to annihilate and strangulate your people in broad daylight. And these things are being swept under the carpet. Because the fact still remains that they are fighting for one thing: a separation. They want to be on their own. Most of you don't even understand this thing. People don't understand. And before you understand, it is too late. I pray it won't get to this level, because you see how these people are trying to penetrate Biafran land by force, because they want to take over. And once they take over, they will find a way to enslave Biafrans, which is not possible. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw these things long time ago. That is why when they keep on, when these whole issues and shenanigan that is happening within both the Briggy and IPOB, and the whole infiltration on Abakasizimahu, because the reality is that, instead of us to fight for the freedom, which is very paramount in the survival of every Biafran at this point in time, we continue to fight for irrelevant things that will come and go. I want to use this opportunity to refresh your mind, proud to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that we are still fighting for freedom. And for those of you who do not understand, a big war is happening in Biafran land. It is as simple as that. That is why you're seeing all these spines here and there by the Zoo Army. If not for the Biafran Liberation Army and the Eastern Security Network that continue, to protect the land, what would have been the ordeal of our people? Thank you once again for joining us on today's news roundup. Do not forget, to help us to share our news to as many groups and platforms as possible as we continue to give more information on the upcoming trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the judgment that will be coming in few days' time. In fact, in few hours, that is on Friday. God bless you and stay blessed.